the problem of evil has always been really bounced around and discussed in theological circles and religious circles because it's often debated where it came from. That's something that I wanted to not necessarily get into from a writer's perspective or feel entitled that I kind of had that insight, but I was really more humbled by the fact that there's so much tradition and folklore that's been written on this.
Using that blueprint of the script, you start to build the character, and then I think you then kind of, much like they said in Jurassic Park, of filling in the dinosaur DNA with bits of amphibian DNA, you kind of take parts of yourself and you fit it into the blanks that you don't know, because Joseph existed for 30 some odd years before this moment in his life.
The struggle we're all facing as humans and just making it in this world and doing things that are sometimes against our better judgment or against our morals, and having to sort of swallow that down and deal with it and kind of grit our teeth and just get through it. He's trying to create a new family and a new life, but his experiences from his past and sort of who he was in the past is bleeding into what's happening with him now, and he's sort of delving back into his darker side.
She just wants to be a wife, a partner. She has her job at the salon, and she just wants to make enough money to survive and be happy with her husband. And that's I think that's her goal, is just to be happy with her husband. But her life path changes as her husband's sort of behavior becomes more and more suspicious, and so it sort of drives her into more adventure, and that's what makes her character interesting, is sort of where she ends up finding herself in these weird situations.
Being real about, in that moment, what's happening to me, what's going on around me, and he's just who he is.
He is getting to the point where he's getting desperate, and he has an encounter with another character that causes him to it takes advantage of that desperation that Grandison's going through.
It's kind of scary when you start to borderline a thriller with a drama, because you start to tap a little bit into the human reality and the human condition, and how scary we can become and how scary we sometimes are.
The dark and the light, the good and the bad, we all kind of live with that inside of us.
It's a story explained in a way that not many stories are explained, like trying to capture like different stories, but all with a connection between them, and all like with such intensity. It's not something that you can see every day in a screen.
And that's the power of these things, the power of these ancient myths or stories or things that were based off reality, that were adapted to fables or animals or symbols or human beings.
Everyone seems to get something different from it, and that's amazing to me, because that's basically was our goal, was to be able to attract as many people to the story as we could.
It was just a powerful experience, powerful, and I was able to, as an actor, to go and get places that I'm not able to get to on other projects because it didn't have the intersection that I had with Grandison.
Humanity's sort of individual struggle. I mean, we have us as society, and then each person is going through their own, personal hell or trials, and that we all have different ways of coping.
There are some parts of us that we can't get away from, but I also realize that we have a choice. And I think that we see in the film how people handle choices.
There's no infliction at all. There's no force. It's each character's choice.
Good versus evil, and how on a pinhead they both sit.
A lot of us live our lives caught between a rock and a hard place, and there's never always a good decision to make, and it's the lesser of two evils, and people may hate us for it, but we're the ones who ultimately have to live with those decisions.
It's a really deep movie. That's all I can say. When I got it and I was reading it, just my story, I could see how deep it was, but when when you watch it, you go, wow, this is a lot of different deep levels to this story.